On New Year's, my niece posted a family emergency donation link using my daughter's name, and $26,000 poured in overnight. When people started asking where the money went, my sister shrugged and said, "Looks like your kid was just pretending." Mom snapped, her voice like cracking ice. "Make your daughter take the blame and pay it back." I stayed calm, my thumb hovering over my phone screen, already deep in the payout settings. The bank account details stared back at me. This wasn't where it began, though. It truly started with a push notification, landing on my phone at 12:17 a.m. on New Year's Day. The headline screamed, "Emergency Fund for Ava. Urgent Family Crisis." My niece's face was in the thumbnail, but my daughter's name, Ava, was plastered across the title, adorned with a heart emoji. Beneath it, a photo of Ava from last fall, that oversized yellow beanie from Target, a hot chocolate clutched like a small victory. I hadn't posted that picture anywhere. My sister must have snagged it from our family's shared photo album. I was standing in my mother's kitchen, still in my boots, the floor sticky with spilled Prosecco. Shouts of Happy New Year echoed from the living room like a scene straight out of a commercial. I just stared at the link. My wife, Nora, peered over my shoulder. "What's that?" she asked. I handed her the phone. She read the blurb aloud slowly as if she couldn't quite believe her eyes. "Ava needs urgent help. Medical emergency. Single mom can't cover it alone. Please donate and share." Nora looked at me bewildered. "I'm right here," she said. "And we have insurance." I tapped open the page. The donation counter spun like a slot machine. $40, $75, $200. I refreshed it. $510. Comments scrolled by. "Praying for sweet Ava. Hang in there, sis. Just lost my job but gave what I could." My niece, Bella, bounced into the kitchen, a sparkler fizzing in her hand. "Uncle Max, did you see my post? We're already at like $600. This is gonna go viral." Before you wonder why I didn't smash the phone on the floor right then and there, let me introduce myself. I'm Max, 39, an IT support lead in Cleveland, Ohio. I drive a 2014 Subaru Outback with a dented bumper, and pay $1,950 a month for a mortgage I refinanced at the worst possible time. I drink too much gas station coffee and always keep a roll of quarters in my glove box because the laundromat near our house eats credit cards every other week. I'm the quiet helper. My sister Tessa is the golden child. Let me give you two quick examples to illustrate. When her AC died in July, Mom lent her $2,200 for a new compressor and called it a love gift. When my alternator stranded me on a 90 at midnight, Mom asked if I'd tried turning the car off and on again. Another one. Tessa's wedding shower featured a signature cocktail and a gourmet dessert table. Nora and I planned a potluck for our reception so no one would feel pressured, and Mom spent 2 hours listing all the dishes that wouldn't travel well. I put my thumb on the screen and scrolled. The page declared, "Funds will support urgent hospitalization and recovery for Ava. Goal, $25,000. A small progress bar was already a third full. "Why is my kid in the title?" I asked Bella. She blinked at me as if I'd asked why the sky was blue. "Because people know her. It's for family." "For what family crisis?" Bella shrugged. "You know Grandma's situation." A second alert pinged. $1,500 from Anonymous. Then another. $10. "Love you, girl." My stomach dropped. I stepped into the living room. "Mom," I said, holding up the phone. "What is this?" My mother didn't even look up from her folding chair. "Happy New Year, honey," she said, clinking an empty glass in the air. "It says Ava's in the hospital," I pressed. "She's not." Tessa glided over, arms wide for a hug, glitter on her cheekbones sparkling like a disco ball. "Max, don't make it a thing. We needed an angle." "An angle?" I echoed. "People donate more when there's a kid," she explained, as if teaching me about couponing. Nora placed a hand on my back. "Take a breath," she whispered. Ava tugged my sleeve with sticky fingers. "Can I have another Sprite?" In the background, the donation page hit $2,800, little avatars popping up like digital confetti. "This is fraud," I said quietly. Tessa rolled her eyes. "It's family," she said, as if those words dissolved all legalities. "Grandma's behind on the mortgage, and the propane bill doubled. It's a crisis." Then Mom chimed in as casually as discussing the weather. "We'll fix it later. Smile for once. It's New Year's." I didn't smile. I watched the number jump to $3,300 and felt something inside me click. A lock I'd carried my whole life finally turning. Before I go deeper, I should back up. I'm the oldest. Tessa is 3 years younger. Our dad left when I was 15 and Mom, ever the storyteller, reworked the narrative so there were no villains. He had his reasons, she'd say, like we were reading a book with missing pages. From then on, I handled the taxes, read the utility meters, patched the drywall. When Tessa overdrew her checking account in college, I transferred money from my savings and drove 3 hours to teach her how to set up transaction alerts. When Mom's roof leaked, I rented a ladder, patched the shingles, and heated canned soup on a camp stove in her kitchen because the power was out. Helper things, quiet things, no complaints because complaining felt like adding weight to a backpack I'd already committed to carrying. Tessa, meanwhile, learned a very different lesson. I don't think she's a bad person. She just exists in a world where the cushion always appears before you hit the ground. She launched a candle business on Instagram that never sold beyond sympathy purchases, and Mom championed it as entrepreneurship. She neglected to pay the city tax, then called me in tears when she received a $318 penalty notice. I drove to City Hall on my lunch break to sort it out. She totaled her Honda Civic, and Mom told everyone the stop sign was in the wrong place. I, on the other hand, quietly worked my way up from help desk to IT lead. My daily life was decidedly unglamorous. A Costco card, a wall calendar tracking oil changes, a spreadsheet titled Bills Jan 2025 XLSX. I graduated from renting to buying a small house in Old Brooklyn with terrible wallpaper, and a garage door that screeched. I stopped asking for praise because it always seemed to just bounce right off me. Here's the thing, I don't need confetti. I just need fair. Money had been a raw nerve since Thanksgiving, when Mom asked me to spot her $800 for propane, claiming her budget was locked up. I paid the bill online using her login and told her it bought us time. We'll figure something out after the holidays, I said, because that's what helpers say when they're stalling. Then December arrived, and the mail brought bad news. A delinquent mortgage notice in a window envelope, stamped red, urgent past due $3,962.17. Interest and fees would tack on another $240. I sat on Mom's couch and did the math. She spends $140 a month on a landline, $85 on premium cable for Hallmark movies, and buys scratch-offs like they're vitamins. I suggested a budget. She nodded, then immediately asked if I could order a replacement Keurig because hers spits. So on New Year's Eve, Tessa declared, I had this idea. That idea arrived, not in conversation or a group text, but live after midnight, as a donation page with my child's name as the bait. The page layout was slick. Bella's good at that. At 19, she can make anything look like a professional brand campaign. They had a $25,000 goal, a heartfelt paragraph about our girl Ava, and a list of official-sounding expenses. Hospital copay $2,800. Specialist consult $1,200. In-home support $4,600. Rent relief $3,800. Fuel winter $1,100. Miscellaneous pharmacies $640. Credit consolidation $7,200. It was like someone asked ChatGPT to create a crisis budget and then threw darts at numbers. At 12:29 a.m., my work phone buzzed with a fraud alert, because people were sharing the page to neighborhood Facebook groups and tagging me. One message read, "Prayers for Ava Max, call if you need anything." Another, "I donated $100. Hope she's okay." Then my cousin in Pittsburgh texted, "So sorry to hear about the hospital. We're coming to Cleveland next week. Can we visit?" I messaged Bella, "Take the page down now." She replied with 3 crying emojis and, "Uncle Max, don't be like this. It's working." I walked back into the living room, clutching my phone like it was my only anchor. "Turn it off," I told Tessa. She was on the couch, counting imaginary money. "People want to help," I explained. "But they want to help who they think they're helping." Nora gently put her hand on Ava's shoulders, steering her toward the den. "Go see if Grandma has more popcorn," she suggested. Ava skipped away oblivious. Tessa sighed. "Fine, we'll update the wording." "Chill. You can't update a lie into the truth," I countered. Mom finally stood. "Enough," she said. "You're making a scene in my house." "Your house is the scene," I shot back, instantly regretting the bitter taste of those words. But the number on my screen rolled to $6,420, the comments multiplied, and my chest felt like someone had Velcroed a hot iron to it. I should have left. Instead, I stared at the phone and thought about my budget spreadsheet. Mortgage due on the 1st, $1,950. Car insurance on the 5th, $168. Utilities autopay on the 7th, $244. Ava's after-school STEM club, $80 due next Friday. January is a hungry month and we had planned for regular hungry, not this. By 1:47 a.m., the page hit $12,200. A guy from my bowling league named Raul gave $500 and wrote, "For your little one." I closed my eyes. At 2:12 a.m., a woman I didn't recognize donated $2,000 with a heart and wrote, "My daughter did a lemonade stand for Ava this summer. Please let her know we love her." I scrolled her profile and realized we'd met at a block party. She had a photo of Ava at the chalk table. At 3:05 a.m., when the house finally quieted and the cheap fireworks stopped popping in the neighborhood, the total read $18,440. I lay awake on my childhood bed, beneath a sad floral comforter, thinking about the $800 propane bill I paid 5 weeks ago. How money, when it moves, feels like a current. You can swim with it and make it to shore, or you can stand still and pretend you won't get swept away. I promised myself 2 things. I wouldn't scream and I'd get proof. Escalation came in steps, like someone climbing a staircase without looking down. Step 1. By 9:10 a.m. on New Year's Day, the total hit $26,030. Nora read the names aloud while we made pancakes on Mom's gas stove. Since the electric griddle had given up. Your boss drew $300, she said. Your old neighbor, Mrs. Hardy, $50. Oh, and remember when Ava fed our cat? And Michelle from church sent $1,000. She wrote for Ava's specialist. Specialist. I echoed, flipping a burnt pancake. Step 2. People started asking questions by noon. My friend Malik texted. What hospital? I can swing by. My Aunt Liza messaged. Why didn't you call us? We have a health savings account we can share. Emma from Ava's class wrote. Nora, can Ava FaceTime? My mom says we can bring soup. Tessa, sensing a challenge like a shark smelling blood, beat us to them. She replied in comments and DMs. Max asked for privacy. It's delicate. There's legal stuff. She made me look like the grim guardian of suffering. I cornered her in the kitchen. Are you out of your mind? I demanded. She snapped. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid in front of my kid. Bella, perched on a stool with a bagel, swiped to refresh the page. We should move the goal to $30,000. Momentum matters. Step 3. At 2:44 p.m., the first crack appeared. Cousin Luke, the blunt one who sells HVAC and thinks everything is a scam, commented publicly. Which hospital? I know a billing manager. I can negotiate the copay. 20 minutes later he added, also this says rent relief. Whose rent? Max owns. Tessa replied from the fundraiser account. Please stop harassing this family during a crisis. People liked her comment. A few sent heart emojis. Step 4. At 3:12 p.m. Mom called me into the den. She had the page open on her ancient iPad with the cracked corner I'd offered to replace twice. Don't ruin this, she said without looking up. Your sister is finally doing something useful. By lying about my kid, I said. We're one family, she insisted. Money is money. So ask for help honestly. I retorted. She looked over the rim of her reading glasses. People don't give for old women behind on bills, Max. They give for children. She said it with that sad, practical tone, like she was discussing grocery unit prices. Step 5. By dinner time, the group chat was a minefield. Screenshots bounced between cousins. Luke texted. If Ava is not actually sick, this is fraud. Bella replied with a screenshot of the platform's FAQ about personal emergencies and wrote, read the TNCs. Luke shot back. I did admin. And that word stuck to my brain like a burr. Admin. Nora put a glass of water in my hand. You're pale, she said. Ava was playing Monopoly on the carpet with her older cousin, asking why there were so many jail cards. I sat on Mom's floral chair, opened the fundraiser link, and tapped the 3-dot menu in the top right. The About the Admin list wasn't visible unless you logged in. I stepped outside to the porch, opened a new tab and created an account using my work email. Seconds later, I confirmed through my phone. I toggled back, tapped report, then contact organizer. A form popped up. At the bottom, a tiny link. View payouts. That one required access I didn't have. Bella came to the doorway squeaking, Uncle Max, what are you doing? I think she saw my face because she quickly added, don't be weird. I want to know where it goes, I said. Grandma's, she blurted. Duh. How do you know? You just set up a bank account, she said. It pays out automatically in 2 to 3 business days. She said it like she was stating a known fact. Who said it? I pushed. She bit her lip. I can't say. But that hesitation lasted only seconds. Me and Mom. Grandma approved. What bank? I asked, my voice flat. She froze, realizing she'd said too much. I stepped back inside, my face set with the same composure I used at work when a VP yelled that the printers were down because someone had unplugged them. Tessa, I said, open the payout settings right now. She laughed, a humorless sound. Max, don't be a buzzkill. People are still giving. Mom appeared behind her like a stage manager. Make your daughter take the blame and pay it back, Mom told me, as if ordering from a menu. Say she misunderstood. Nora looked at me and shook her head, the smallest gesture. Not no, not yes. Just stay steady. I didn't scream. I didn't threaten. I just held out my hand. Phone, I said. Max, Tessa protested. I am not a child. I know, I replied. That's why you can open the settings. Everyone drifted toward us like birds gathering for a single seed. Luke slipped in through the back door, uninvited as usual, and folded his arms. Fine, Tessa huffed, jabbing at her phone with her acrylics. She opened the app, tapped edit, then payouts. The line that changed everything was small. Linked bank account, Grandma's account. Account holder Marlene Carter, my mother's name. Under that, in lighter text, organizer my niece. Admin my sister. I didn't say, I knew it. I didn't say anything. I just tilted the phone so Mom could see. She didn't flinch. It's my house, she said, as if we were playing Monopoly, not life. Luke barked a laugh. Oh, this is rich, he said. You use the kid as the hook to pay off your cable. It's propane, Mom said, offended. And the mortgage. Say hospital again, Luke challenged. I dare you. Tessa squared her shoulders. Guess your kid is a little faker, she said to me with a mean little smile like she'd been saving it. She told everyone she had a tummy ache at the Christmas play. This is what happens when you perform. Nora gasped. I didn't look at her. I kept my eyes on the tiny line of text that held my mother's name next to those 4 masked digits, and I heard myself say, okay. It was a calm okay. The kind you say before you put on your coat and walk into the snow. The real breaking point wasn't shouting. It was timestamps. At 6:11 p.m., I opened my own bank app and took screenshots. At 6:14 I texted Drew, my boss, apologizing for any confusion caused by a family thing, and asking him not to donate more. At 6:16 he replied, got it. Hey, you're good. That small message steadied me. At 6:20 I sat at Mom's kitchen table and made a list on a Speedway receipt, because her notepad was covered in grocery ads. Bullet points. Keep it simple. Screenshot of payout settings showing Mom's account and Tessa as admin. Screenshot of fundraiser description with hospitalization copay, specialist. Screenshot of Ava in the title. Note of total and timestamp. Short statement. No essays. At 6:27, the platform sent an auto update. You're trending. And the total flashed to $27,140. It was like watching a bruise spreading. At 6:33, the first refund request appeared in the comments because Luke, bless his perpetually forward-tilting head, had posted a short, "This is misrepresented." Reply with no details. A woman named Annie P. wrote, "Wait, is this not for a medical issue?" Tessa posted, "Please respect privacy." Bella posted a heart and "We love this community." At 6:45, I gathered the closest people in the living room. I didn't invite the whole zoo, just Mom, Tessa, Bella, Luke, Aunt Liza because she's kind, and Nora beside me holding our sleeping kid. Everyone else hovered in the kitchen, pretending to tidy plastic cups. I stood by the TV stand, next to its porcelain angels and that 1999 photo of Dad at Cedar Point. "I'm going to say this once," I stated evenly, "and then I'm going to take action." Tessa smirked like she was in a TikTok. "He's making a speech," she whispered to Bella. I held up my phone. The fundraiser uses Ava's name. It says hospitalization and copay, and lists medical line items. There is no hospitalization, no copay. You link the payout to Mom's account with you as admin. That's fraud. Mom said, "It's family," as if uttering a magic spell. "I'm not asking," I said. "I'm telling you to shut it down and issue refunds." Mom's voice sharpened. "Don't you dare embarrass me," she snapped. "People know me from church. Winter is hard. This is how we get by." I nodded, as if confirming the wind was cold. "Okay," I said. "Then this is how I get by." I airplayed my phone to Mom's TV. The big screen filled with the fundraiser page. I clicked about, then payouts. I zoomed in. The room went quiet, so quiet you could hear someone swallow. The proof was simple. One line of text and a name that nobody could argue didn't belong to my mother. Bella whispered, "Uncle Max," as if I was betraying her. Then I switched to the second screenshot. The paragraph with urgent hospitalization and specialist. Then the third. Ava's photo in the header. Timestamp created Dec 31st, 11:58 p.m. Then the fourth. The total in bold. $27,140. Luke let out a low whistle. Aunt Liza put a hand over her mouth. Tessa tried one last pivot. "You know what? People give for lots of reasons," she said, shrugging. "Everyone does this. Rent is health. Heat is health. It's not a court of law." I nodded again. "Exactly right," I said. "And this isn't a court. It's simpler." I opened the platform's help page and read, with the calm demeanor of an IT guy who has read a lot of FAQs at 3 a.m. Misrepresentation violates the terms. Organizers must refund donors upon request. Platform may suspend payouts and reverse funds. I hit report. I selected fraud/misleading. It asked for a summary. I wrote, "Organizer used child's name and image. Claimed hospitalization that did not occur. Linked payout to grandmother's account for bills. I am the father of the child named." I attached the screenshots and tapped submit. Tessa lunged as if I'd pulled a fire alarm. "No, no, no," she shrieked. "You're going to make it worse." "It already is worse," Nora said softly, the first time she'd spoken in 10 minutes. Within 2 minutes, the platform emailed me. "We've temporarily paused withdrawals while we investigate." That was step 6, the system responding. Tessa hissed at Bella. "Why did you say Grandma's bank?" Bella's chin wobbled. "You said it was fine," she whispered. Then my phone buzzed with the sound I'd come to dread. The little cash register pop. But this time it was a different app. Cash App. Someone had sent money directly to Mom with a note for Ava. I felt my stomach flip. I opened Mom's iPad and, God forgive me, searched her email. There it was, a Cash App email with the subject, $1,200 received from Michelle W. Timestamp 6:51 p.m. I didn't take a screenshot of that because it wasn't mine to take. I just stared at the subject line and thought about Michelle's kind voice at church when she brought cupcakes to the fall bake sale. Turn off your notifications, I told Mom. Right now. She crossed her arms. You don't tell me what to do in my house. I took a breath, then another. I'm not going to argue, I said. Here's what will happen next. And then I listed the smallest steps I could control out loud like a checklist. First, I'm removing Ava's photo from the shared family album. Second, I'm emailing anyone we know personally who donated and explaining that the platform has paused payouts due to misrepresentation, with a link to request a refund. Third, I'm asking the platform to reroute any remaining funds to original donors, proportionally, not to you. Fourth, I'm texting the group with a statement so I don't have to keep saying it. Fifth, I'm blocking you from any accounts that have my child's images. Mom's eyes flashed. Don't you dare cut me off from my granddaughter, she said. And there it was, the real threat. Access, I said quietly. Being a grandmother is not a login. Tessa pointed a finger. If you post about this, I will say your daughter lied. Nora stepped forward. Say it, she challenged. Come on, Tessa. Say it out loud right now. Tessa shut her mouth. The room hummed with all the unsaid words. Then Aunt Liza, who never picks a side, said, "This is wrong," to my mother. And those 3 words loosened something in my spine I'd been clenching for 2 decades. I turned off the TV. We're leaving, I said. We're taking Ava home. Don't, Mom said, her voice small for once. It's late. Roads are icy. We'll go slow, I said. At 7:22 p.m., we zipped Ava into her blue puffer, and I carried her to the Subaru. She woke just enough to mumble that midnight was sparkly, then fell back asleep. I buckled her in, checked the mirror, and put the car in drive. On the way home, I dictated a text to Nora, and she typed it on my phone because my hands wouldn't stop shaking. New Year's update. The fundraiser uses Ava's name and says she's hospitalized. She's not. The payout was linked to my mother's account with my sister as admin. I've reported it and the platform paused withdrawals. If you donated, you can request a refund here. Link. If you sent money directly to my mom, ask her directly for a refund. We did not authorize that. We love you. Please don't send money to anything with Ava's name unless it comes from me or Nora. Max. We hit send at 7:49 p.m. I turned off the radio and we drove in silence. The kind that feels like clean air after a long party. The next 72 hours were a slow motion undoing, complete with receipts. Monday 9:06 a.m. Platform email. Fundraiser suspended pending review. Payouts paused. The page was still live, but the donate button was grayed out. The total was frozen at $27,140. Comments flipped to, refund requested. What's going on? A few not your business, but the tide had turned. 11:22 a.m. Replies hit my inbox. Raul. Refund filed. Michelle. I sent $1,000. We'll handle with your mom. Hugs to Ava. Emma's mom. Mad on your behalf. Soup. I answered each with a short thank you. 12:40 p.m. Tessa posted. Tried to do good. Family tore me down. A cousin tagged me. I didn't bite. 10:03 p.m. Mom's voicemail. People are calling. You made a mess. I saved it. Tuesday 8:02 a.m. Credit union alert. External deposit hold attempt reversed. They tried pushing payout to mom's account. Bank refused. I photographed the alert. 10:27 a.m. Bella? I'm sorry. I didn't think. Me, I know. That's why adults have to. She sent a crying emoji and a heart. 2:50 p.m. Aunt Liza. Your mother says you told Ava to lie at Christmas. I laughed. The lie was 3 candy canes and a tummy ache. Wednesday 9:41 a.m. Luke texted a photo of my Speedway receipt bullet list. Found your manifesto. I told him to burn it. He did. 12:15 p.m. HR. Need AP? Me, I'm okay. 3:36 p.m. Platform. Violation confirmed. Donors will be refunded in 3 to 10 business days. Do not solicit alternatives. I forwarded it and muted the family chat. That night I wrote boundaries like code. Remove Mom and Tessa from the shared album. Change Mom's Wi-Fi to a random string and disable guest access. Sign her streaming services to free accounts. Log my Apple ID off her iPad. No spot me unless it fits my budget, and I pay vendors directly. Anyone who uses Ava's image for money loses access. No calls after 9 p.m. No Facebook wars. 1 2-sentence statement then stop. I slept hard. The blowback tried. Mom posted. Honor your mother and father. Tessa posted toxic people play victim. I ignored it. Proof quiets noise. A screenshot that said linked bank account. Marlene Carter beside urgent hospitalization in my kid's face. Refunds rolled. By Friday 2:03 p.m. $12,760. 7:22 p.m. $4,010. Then fundraiser unavailable. Michelle still brought cupcakes. Bella? Grandma's mad I told you. Me? You told the truth. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm holding a line. I'm the quiet helper. I'm not a resource.